started very well, didn't it? Down, wherever the first one was, and then Baz Ball was well and truly back. We'd all waited all winter through it, and then it's sort of drawn more to what you'd come to expect in England, in India.
I was at my last cricket club in the Pontefract League called Calder Grove, and they needed some junior support, so coaching and someone to run and help run one of the teams. So I thought, right, I'll give this a go.
Like even the Ashes last year, despite it not ending how we wanted, did you go to any of the tests?
Yeah, I actually went to Headingley.
Yeah, so
I think I went to day 1 and I had day 5 tickets, but obviously didn't get to day 5. But just an unreal experience.
And then in football, I'm a Leeds fan. He's a Sheff Wednesday fan.
Yeah,
I know. We've got someone on our course that's a Wednesday fan. Did I not tell you that bit?
No, I didn't know he was a Sheffield Wednesday fan.
Yeah.
I think it's what football team to support.
In the
Is it Premier League?
Yeah.
Oh. City?
No.
How did you mention City?
No, I want to support him. Just,
Man United?
Now he's insulting me.
Hello and welcome back to the On the Front Foot podcast. We've got a different episode for you today, cricket, which, despite many people's views, is actually our nation's national sport. We've got obviously Hadi again, some of the lads.
Hi.
They're not as keen or don't have as much knowledge on cricket, and we've got AB, our guest for today, cricket coach, cricket player, cricket enthusiast. Welcome to the podcast, AB.
I am, thanks for having me on.
Obviously, we'll start with what's going on in the cricket world at the minute, is the India versus England test. Obviously, Hadi, I don't know how much you're up to date with it, you've caught up to date with it now. Started very well, didn't it? Down, wherever the first one was, and then Baz Ball was well and truly back. We'd all waited all winter through it, and then it's sort of drawn more to what you'd come to expect in England, in India, isn't it?
India pretty much are on the front foot.
Yeah, it's AB that it's so tough to play abroad, but especially India's like the toughest place, isn't it?
Definitely.
They are one of the best teams, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, India, like we said, especially going there with young spinners as well, really, really, really tough to sort of get playing Baz Ball and sort of be aggressive when they've got one of the best teams in the world, and it's really tough to play spin, which we're not used to over here. So I think 2-1 down at the minute, we're doing all right, but I think for me anyway, we've got to stick with Baz Ball. It's the future, it's how we get told to coach now, nice and aggressive, so I'm always a big pro Baz Ball.
That's good to hear that the future generations of English cricket is getting taught that as well, because we both know that, like, we had good coaches, but we'll get onto that later, but the fact that it's so positive and we've drawn into India's backyard, and yes, it's not drawn to plan these last two, but like I say, with such young spinners, and there is times where we've been a little bit careless, but as a fan, it is just quite very fun to watch. Like even the Ashes last year, despite it not ending how we wanted. Did you go to any of the tests?
Yeah, I actually went to Headingley.
Yeah, so
I think I went to day 1 and I had day 5 tickets, but obviously didn't get to day 5. But just an unreal experience. It's sort of, the Ashes is always a big competition anyway, as we know. But with that added little bit of sort of taste with Baz Ball, it just really means that, right, we've actually got a chance of beating them now. And I think, have it not rained in Old Trafford,
yeah.
I think we'd have beat. It's hard to say, but I think we'd have beat them.
We technically
You told me that, didn't you? You were talking to me saying that I think if it wasn't for the weather, we could have won.
Yeah, well, that last summer I was just fixed on that because I was speaking to Hadi about it, and I had my feet up from my charity donations that I'd done, and I literally could not move. But it was the best time of year, because the best time of year not to move is when the Ashes is on. Sky Sports on 5 days of it. It wasn't either like, oh, you'd nip out, you'd go out for a drive, or you'd do something like you'd have errands to run during the day, and you'd be gutted if you missed that hour because you missed like 3 wickets, or you missed a half century or something like that.
Always plan it around the lunch and tea break.
Yeah.
Right, I'm having my lunch when they have their lunch. Right, back to the telly for the next 2 or 3 hours.
That was even the case with going to Headingley. I think I went to day. I think we said we went to day 3,
yes.
And obviously you go out at Headingley, don't you? And you come back, and sometimes you're like, oh, I'll just have another one in taps or something like that, or like a bit like some food further away, because you're not that fussed about getting back. But there was like, you were desperate to get in, because when I was going back for that at lunch, Mark Wood was hitting the sixes round everywhere, and I've never felt cricket like it really. It's so good, and to see that with we're sort of putting that like mantra down, not down under, sorry, in India is just really exciting. But what from like not a neutral, but sort of like an outside cricket fan, have you seen much of Baz Ball, or do you know what we mean by when we say Baz Ball?
Not really. For me, like I prefer like T20 because for me I prefer when it's shorter, and also like on the day you get an actual like winner or victor. I think if you like do it over like 5 days period, it gets a bit too long, and for me it gets a bit boring.
Well, the AB will chip in as well, but the whole meaning behind it is Baz Ball's the coach, Brendan McCullum. So Brendan McCullum Ball, Baz Ball. And it's not your typical. Everyone tries saying, "Oh, it is. They're just playing attacking cricket." It is a bit different, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Like even how it's not working now. Like with, for example, Joe Root, it's not taking him away from his natural game. But basically, it's don't worry about the risk of getting out. You will get out, but you could get 60 runs in 30 balls, for example.
So it's like high risk, high reward kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
And that brings the fans in, doesn't it? And that keeps you on side. And it starts with the coach. It carries on to the pitch with the captain, and it's drawn through to the players, hasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I think the players all love it, and from what we the inside stuff we get through, obviously documentaries and little insider clips, the players are there for it. And I think Brendan McCullum, the coach, will tell them, right, this is how we're playing, so buy into it, otherwise you're not playing for England. And that sort of mentality, when it goes back onto the pitch, as we see, gets really, really good rewards. So we're thinking, right, this is the ruthless mentality we need to win test matches, because you're there for 5 days. So it's not, like I say, it's not for the weak-minded, but go out, be aggressive. And like we say with the tail enders as well, usually the last sort of 3 batters who are mainly bowlers and are typically not as good batters, they come out to they think, right, if I try and block it, I'm going to get out, so I'm going to get 0, 1, 2, 3 runs. But with this new format, it's right, go try and get after the ball hard. And if you can pick up an extra 10, 15, 20 runs each, that's 30, 40 ball runs-ish extra, just by doing that, and that can be a difference between winning or losing.
It sounds very simple when you explain it like that, but so many years you just see, it gets to like 7 down, and you're like, well, they'll maybe get 3 more. Like, most of the time it was led rise, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because they'd be forcing a wicket. But this time, like Mark Wood that time, I reckon he got about 24, 26 sort of runs in the space of maybe 3 overs. Got out eventually, I think. But that paid dividends in that test when it rained the next day, and they had to get those extra 25 runs sort of thing.
So like, would you not get frustrating if like, like it's like we get it high risk, high reward, but if it doesn't work, it's like, would you not look a bit like stupid, so to speak, like on that, like you could have played a bit safe and stuff like that?
100%. A lot of people, especially sort of classic Test cricket fans, are against it because it's a 5-day game, and obviously it's there for a reason. You need to take your time, respect and value your wicket, which is a really important thing. But I think Brendan McCullum wants to take that sort of fear away of getting out, because from playing and coaching, I know the biggest thing in players is, I don't want to get out, because you're out, that's your day done, especially if you're a batter. But like I say, I think there is an argument that you should value the wicket a little bit more, but it's all about results. And if we're going, playing hard, getting results, beating teams that we won't usually beat, then...
That's what I'm going to say, like you're playing India, it's better to take the game to them, especially when you're playing in their own backyard.
Definitely.
It's going to be... It looked better first of all, not only in terms of confidence and belief within the players, but then it would actually make your name as well.
Yeah, that's it. And I think the mentality of getting a draw, so it going all 5 days and no result, I think that's completely gone now. It's right, if we're going to go there, we're going to go and try and win, because a lot of times we go to places like India and think, oh, a draw might be a decent result, but that was sort of getting the fans away from Test cricket. And now obviously, right, we're going to try and win every single game, we're going to play hard. And like I said, it just gets everyone watching again. It gets me up at 4 or 5 a.m. And I'm definitely not a morning person, but I'll get up and watch that just because, right, opening batters might start trying to hit some of the best bowlers, Bumrah for 6, first, second ball of the game. So it gets me up for it, definitely.
That's my favourite moment, when they actually get the 6, when it goes like really long. Not I mean like just over, over the boundary. I mean like high. That's when I watch it with my mates. We'll go 6er. That's my favourite part. Honestly, I can't lie. When actually a very good 6.
Well, it's even better feeling in Test cricket when you do see it, but it's less expected and everything like that, and you just saw that. Yeah, it's even better when it's like less expected, because you're not expecting to see like Harry Brook smash like 3 sixes in and over, but it's got the same effect as staying there for another half hour and getting the same runs. You're just doing it quicker. And similar to what you were saying, you're getting up early. Obviously, we have uni on the morning. I'm waking up and watching it early. But then also, that first test, naturally, if it's in India, you go, I could do something else with my Sunday. But I held on, and it actually disturbed my Sunday, because I was like, I just want to see us get over the line and get those last few wickets. And we did that. But yeah, it's like with the high risk, high reward thing at the minute. Like the past 2 tests, you could say it hasn't worked. And some players like Joe Root, there's an argument to say that it's dragging him away from his natural game, but then you'll look into the stats more than me. The stats are actually still quite good, and if anything, he's improved. But so it is still a high risk, high reward, but it's easy to point the finger at the minute and be like, oh well, we've lost 2 on the trot. It's not working. That sort of thing.
If it's something, it's new, isn't it? It's a new concept, a new like a type of. It's like a type of play, isn't it? It's like a tactic, isn't it?
Yeah.
So so if it's new, and you need to give it time to work, and if it's, I like saying, it's for the next generation, bear with it.
Yeah, exactly. And touching, we're gonna move on to your coaching in a minute.
Yeah.
When you started your coaching and watching Baz Ball, has there been a time where you went, actually, I'm teaching them this, but I believe in this Baz Ball mantra? Like, when did the switch and you started teaching them, just be positive, don't try, like you say, protect your wicket and be safe?
Yeah, 100%. I think having the balance, teaching the kids to value your wicket, because you obviously don't want them to go out there and sort of lose the technique and try and hit everything for 6. But a lot of times in drills now, what I'll do with the kids is take away the stumps. So if they're going to try and be positive, try and hit it really far, hit the 4s and 6s, that means, all right, if you've missed the ball for the sake of this drill, you're not out. Okay, that's the mentality you need to have, is to make sure you're going after the ball nice and positive, your technique's still good, but if you miss it, no one's going to be annoyed at you, because in this drill, you're not out, so you just keep going. So that Baz Ball sort of mentality has influenced my coaching quite a bit, just by sort of having that positive mindset of being, right, don't fear getting out, but make sure you're still nice and positive and your technique's still there as well.
So I wanted to ask you a question. You know, like there's so many formats in cricket. Like you got T50, T20, 5 series. What's your favourite, and what do you like to watch?
For me, I'm really in the mix, because before Baz Ball, I probably would have said the T20 and 50 over stuff, so the 1-day games, because obviously playing wise, I play a lot of 50 over cricket. But now with the Baz Ball, it's almost like a mixture of T20 and 50 over games, but for 5 days, so it's a lot. And I've been brought up with Test cricket a lot, and since the age of 4 or 5, obviously mum and dad waking me up saying, right, it's time, come and watch it now, wherever it is in the world. So I'd probably say Test cricket at the minute, but for kids getting into the game, T20 is the 100 as well, which is a new concept, just even shorter than T20s. It's really, really good for getting kids into the game. So.
But does it not like to get too long for you, or does it even like the emotion thing? I can't sleep this night because the next day we've got a game, or does it not like play up in your mind, or like mentally and stuff like that?
It does, especially during the Ashes. I think sometimes, like we said, we had a chat just before and said, right, we could be halfway through and over, and right, cut off, done. You have to come back the next day. So I'm quite interested psychologically as well. If you're batting and you're doing really well, and then you've got, it could be you finish at 7 and you're back out to bat at 10:30, 11 the next day. So that sort of pressure, and you've been in form, seeing it well, you've had a sleep, and then you're starting again the next day.
So
that excites me.
So the kind of like momentum is not a thing in theory. Like if you're like on the front foot, after that day, pretty much gone, isn't it?
It is, but then it also can. There's short bursts of momentum, like a session or an hour can change a test, a series, an Ashes series.
Okay.
But I think similar to AB, I'm in the camp of test match, like a test series now, because of Baz Ball. But before that, I love the T20 because it's Yorkshire. I like the Roses games are the best.
Brilliant.
So Yorkshire, Lancashire, that is.
Yeah.
And then 50 over. England have been good at 50 over cricket and won the World Cup now, and we've won the T20 World Cup. So lean towards that. But like you say, the fact that it's T20 but it lasts 5 days.
Yeah.
that's why Test sort of sways it for me. And I think as well, it depends on what sort of sports you like, because I think the reason cricket might not appeal to everyone and people think it's boring, the ones that do like it or might like it is the ones that like your snooker and your golf, where you've got to respect the quality that it takes to do it over 5 days. And because football's 90 minutes of high emotion,
high
skill,
high intensity.
whereas snooker you've got so many frames, golf you've got so many rounds, cricket you've got so many days, and you can't switch off, because like I say, that can just, everything can change in an hour, can't it?
100%, yeah.
People like talk about like people argue against Baz Ball, but from the sound of it, like YouTube is actually getting you more involved with Test series, getting you more involved with it, because obviously when England does well with T20, T50, you kind of lean more towards it, because you what's it called? You get more victories, you're experiencing this kind of emotion and wins, and that's obviously gonna make you love it more. But it turned out like from AB and from you, Rob, Baz Ball is getting you actually more in love with the
I think
Test
it
series.
is, and it's also, it attracts you and others to it as well, because
Yeah.
you'd sort of be like, oh wait, you don't have to play it like that because you get the success. And it is a little bit the sort of cricket that people don't mind playing, like when you get forced to play it in PE.
Yeah.
They don't mind that. It's when they stick it on TV and they're like, oh, they haven't strawed a run for 4 balls.
That's
Or
it. It's the famous saying I get, I'd rather play it than watch it.
Yeah,
Because, like
yeah,
you
yeah.
said, you have an hour, smash it round, bowl quickly, you get loads of catches, but then stereotypically Test cricket, it's right, very slow, nothing's really happening. But like we said,
That's what I always said about cricket, and that's why I understand why people don't like it as much. It's because people like that play low and play it like more tactically than, you know what, let me get that out now. They play, you know what, let them get that run instead of getting that, like making it an easy ball for a sixer or for a 4 that could switch the momentum back.
Yeah.
So people can actually make it a hard ball. Okay, they got that one run, that's easy, that's fine.
I always say to people, I respect if you don't like it. That's fine. It's
Yeah.
your thing. Like there's plenty of sports I wouldn't
No,
really.
but
I wouldn't really
cricket
touch.
one of my favorite sports.
But yeah, in terms of that, I think you've got to appreciate the long formats. But yeah, moving on to the man we've brought in today, AB,
Yes.
our coach, who introduced you to cricket, obviously before you've started coaching it.
Yeah, so for me, my dad and my brother are real cricket fans. My brother's 5 years older than me, so he obviously started playing, and as he was 9, 10 and I was 4, 5, I think I went to my first training session on my 5th birthday down at my local cricket club, and it was one of them where my dad loves it, my brother loves it. It's sort of, go and have a go, see if you love it. And I think after that first session, that was it. Just, right, this is brilliant, love it. So, obviously played all juniors, under 9s, all the way and I don't think I've played every single season since 5 years of age. So, now I haven't missed a season or a
Fair
game.
enough,
So, it's just caught the bug, like you say. Everyone gets it with sport. You get that 1-2 sports where you think, right, this is for me. I can do this for a long time.
I think as well with us, from where we're from, it's people are sometimes surprised, like, oh, what, you like cricket? And like I said on the intro, it is technically, if you look on Doodle, it says it's our national sport. But I think in Yorkshire, like I was driven to a Leeds game last year, and I was driven past Headingley Stadium, and on the bus there was me in my Leeds shirt, a Sheffield United fan, and a Sheff Wednesday fan, and a Bradford City fan. We were all on there talking about it, and it's like, oh, you're going to get relegated today and stuff like that, and just having banter. But you do either like your cricket, your football, or your rugby, or you might like 2 of the 3, or you might like all 3 like us. But where did your cricket journey begin? You said your local club, obviously I know it, but and the viewers don't, Hadi doesn't.
Yeah, so local cricket club, we were at Renthorpe. When me and Rob, we probably played junior same time, and we remember each other from there. And it just expanded from there, so I played all my juniors at my local club up to about under 13s. And during that time, I got trials for league, so I played for my league team. And I think under 13s or 14s, I went to a MCC hub in Wakefield, which is sort of like bringing some decent local cricketers together and sort of giving them a chance. And I ended up being picked in the MCC North of England squad, which was unfortunately we didn't get to play any games because there were 1 or 2 scheduled, and like cricket, rain.
Yeah.
It rained, so we don't do rain.
That's one thing.
You're in England, that you should be getting used to that.
Like
100%.
I think local footballers appreciate it in the winter, like or frozen pitch or waterlogged or something like that. But cricket, you could have the nicest week, and then say your game's on a Saturday, you wake up and it's drenched.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you've been looking forward to all week done. Whereas you can play other sports in unless it's like snowing, like most conditions. But cricket, even in the summer, you can have the nicest week. Look forward to it, and it's just complete. Everything's just gone.
100%. Yeah, and it's that thing where you wake up excited, rains, right, day done, find something else.
What else do you do?
Yeah, but so I got into that squad, and then sort of linking that to my coaching. Throughout that time, I was also doing Yorkshire Pathways as well, and from having I've got club coach, league coach, MCC coach, North of England, MCC North of England coach, and Yorkshire Pathways coach. I've had a lot of different coaches in my time, so I picked up I've always loved to be sort of the captain and have a leadership role, and I think a mixture of seeing and experiencing good and some not as good coaches, in my opinion, but like I said, it's all about opinions in cricket. People get on with different styles of coaching and different people, but ultimately coaches need the biggest credit because they're the ones stood there organising sessions, making sure kids are involved. So that's why I say I'll never ever slag any coaches off, because it's a really, really tough thing to do. But throughout that time, just sort of experiencing different coaches and having a passion for learning and being in a leadership role, I think that's sort of where it took me, I think a year and a half ago, into sort of my own coaching.
You mentioned that you played with Rob at Runthorpe. Rob likes to talk about his running, actually doesn't stop talking about his marathon and stuff like that. And obviously, you're running another marathon this year, I believe.
Yeah, charity, man.
Love it.
Yeah, he doesn't stop talking about it. And obviously, I've seen him play a bit of football as well. How was he at cricket?
Good cricketer. Good cricketer.
Bowler or a batter?
All-rounder, I believe.
Yeah. I'd say I'm more straight into bowler. And then, because at the time, I never felt like I had the power, and I'll admit it, I was a little bit scared of the red ball.
Yeah.
Like I could catch a wind, hand-eye coordination with a wind ball, fine.
Yeah.
Then the initial phase of when you step up from 9 to 11, it's like, that's like we chucked it about earlier. He was shocked with you've only held a wind ball.
Yeah, because I played indoor cricket for my high school team.
And
I was
playing with that.
I was much more of a bowler than a batter. I can't lie. For me, it was like I was in moments, hot and cold. Like I'll probably go in a good streak if I'm getting like some good balls, and then I'll go. The rest of the balls are wide.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a hit or miss. But for me, with batting, because I can't hit it far, can never hit it far as much as I tried. So I used to try to hit past the wicket keeper, to always hit it back, hit it away, and then go for a single run.
Yeah, just the one will do it.
That was my tactic.
I like it.
I think with mine, when I was playing cricket, the reason I love it is when you're on, you'll know it, when you're on holiday, like camping or on a beach, anywhere, if you get a cheap one of that and a cheap one of that, you can set up and it's not just you and someone else when it's like a football or a rugby, you chuck it about. You can get random people, like when you're camping, the ones your net store, or on a beach, or do you fancy joining in, and everyone joins in, because it's just hitting a ball and catching it. But I think with me, the reason I was a bowler more was because, like you'll understand it, playing against my brother, he was the one that was better, that could hit it, and my focus would be to like knock his wickets over. So I think I put myself more in a bowler category.
See, I work, so obviously because my manager is Pakistani and my colleagues are also from Pakistani, so we'll go outside because from the hotel like a car park, so we go there sometime when it's warm. I just have a bit of like a play about. I'd bowl, my manager would be a fielder or he'd be the batter, and other people would just be bat and fielding, so just play a bit. Actually, cricket is a nice game to get involved with everyone.
Yeah, it's 100%.
Yeah. What age was it? We played like 11s and 13s, wasn't it? Because I cut off at 13s for football, because you know what I mean.
I'd be younger than that for me.
What?
Because the first time I actually played cricket is back in Abu Dhabi. My next door neighbour was Bangladesh, so he'd always just call me, let's go play cricket. So we'd go outside.
Oh no, yeah, we played it like since younger, but there's a step up where you do it like it starts at sort of under 9s really, into with a wind ball, and then under 11s is the first corky ball.
Yeah.
Then under 13s is another corky ball, but then like with the it shifts, doesn't it? I remember it's like Thursday, Friday, and a Sunday, is it?
Yeah.
So then, like the Sunday ones, I think was like under 13s, and then I was like, actually no, I'm probably better at football, and I know more people that play it. So you have to make a decision sometimes.
100%.
See, that was kind of similar for how I went to football, because when I came to this country, I was still like I loved cricket more than football when I first came to this country, because cricket was my first sport, and I played with my next door neighbour and everything. He was actually quite good. He was a very good ball. He can curl the ball. So I went to my primary school in St. Augustine's in Halifax. And the first time I actually went there, the first day, they were playing cricket, like in the morning, looked like Breakfast Club. They were playing cricket. And I said, yeah, I want to join in. But then the rest of them were more into football, talking about football, you know, like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal. So obviously for me to be fitting in, I went through the football route.
Yeah.
So if my surroundings and people I hung around with was more into cricket, I talked about cricket more. That could have been my main sport, but now because life and people I was with took me to football. Now that's why football is my main sport instead of cricket.
Yeah.
But it could have been cricket if the luck was the other way around.
It's still time to get back. Out of you and your brother, then who do you say is like better? Like I'd say now with my brother, I'm the better sportsman. But in general, like in cricket, I'd say I'm bowler and he's a batter. What's the?
That's a good question.
This is going to get clipped up and
it is. I can't wait to show him
yeah.
this. But I'd say, in all honesty, I'm more of a batter a batting all rounder, and I'd say he's more of a bowling all rounder. And because of his height, he's 6'7".
Yeah.
If you don't, my brother's 6'7".
6 foot.
Yeah. So that's why he's always done well with bowling.
I won't stand next to your brother. I'm telling you, I will not stand anywhere near your brother.
I look tiny next to him.
Yeah.
So, but I'd say he's probably better bowling than batting, but he's still a very, very good batter.
Yeah.
Like when he gets in, long arms, just tries to clear every fence.
I was going to say, is he more of a slugger when it comes to batting?
100%. If he sees a boundary, if he sees a house, he thinks, right, I'm going to try it. Where I'm, it's more top four, just push it round a little bit, get him on strike, proper cricket, as I say, and then he just comes in and whacks it, and then I bowl a little bit. So, well, I'll probably do myself in a bit there, but I don't know which I'd prefer.
Sitting
really.
on the fence.
We'll see.
Absolutely.
They play against each other now. He'll get them out, and his brother will get him a six, and then he'll put on your
He used
face.
to play garden cricket. We'd have his own test matches. Summer holidays off for like 2-3 days. Right, we're starting at 11, lunch at 1, like they're doing in Test cricket, and we're like, right, see who's the best. And I think we both had a ton in garden. So
even though cricket's not meant to be like a contact sport, and that it does get brutal, that doesn't it?
It does.
Especially when it's the sibling rivalry. He's got to take it so seriously. Like I think my brother's like 4-5ish years, similar to yours,
same gap.
apart. So that's why I never minded playing up years, and you're the same now because you like nobody wants to hurt you more with that ball than your brother does.
Exactly. Then I'm gonna go easy on your other. So it's like you said, it's
Yeah.
a good transition. Is that if you got your big 4-5 year older brother coming in, steaming, trying to knock your head off with a ball, playing a couple of years up against kids who are still competitive, but it's not your brother trying to kill you. So
And that will make him better, and that will improve you as a better cricket player. So you owe him some thanks.
It does. I definitely do.
Going back to what you were on about earlier and the differences in coaching, another question I'm going to stitch you up with.
Yeah.
You said there was you've had some good and not so good coaches.
Yeah.
I remember, I don't know if he was technically our coach, but your dad was the one like doing our net sessions, like just saying, "Go and get padded up, Rob. Go and get padded up, AB."
Yeah.
And when you get that call, it's like, "Oh, that's nice. It's my turn," sort of thing.
We're ready.
Padded up means like
Getting gear,
yeah. What category does your dad? Again, I'll clip up for him. What categories does he?
No.
He's not going home today, is he?
No.
This depends if I get my tea tonight.
Yeah.
But I think, in all honesty, ran when we moved from Renthorpe to a team called Brook Walton.
Yeah.
He took over the under-13s and he was coach and I was captain. I will give him a lot of credit. So, as I'm starting to understand now, he was very, very good. And just sort of he's really good at trying to get the balance of, right, we're going to get everybody involved, but we're also here to try and win.
Yeah.
And I think nowadays it can be easy to sort of lose that mentality. It's a really fine balance of being, right, it's not all about winning or it's not about winning. And I think he got that really good balance with us and sort of helped every player that needed him as well, which is what I'm trying to do with my own stuff too.
So when your father was a coach and you was a player, how was he back home when you win or lose?
Yeah, we used to be debriefed in the car, but usually it was all positive, which is sort of why I still think I play the game as well, because if sometimes people can be really, really harsh on you and eventually drive you out of that game. It was a lot, right, did you do everything you could today? Yeah, right, that's fine, then I can't ask for much more. On the days where, did you give everything you could? And I might be like, I was just a bit tired today. Then if you think that's where you need to try and improve, and that's constantly something I'll take forward with coaching and playing as well.
The reason I asked it was because I think when your dad did a few net sessions with us, I started attempting to spin it
Yeah.
And I reckon I could spin it okay now, but like again, I don't think I had the like at that age. It's hard to get the power. Like honestly, lad, you don't understand how hard it is to like properly off spin a ball.
See, like I said, I used to play with that orange ball. I don't know the name.
Yeah, so this one.
So that I don't think I would.
For the viewers, this is a corky ball. So after, like I said, under 11s, you play with this, and it's what like the professionals play with and stuff. Whereas the one you're on about, indoor cricket, what you teach your kids and stuff like that. That's what you knock. That's to get you into it, because you don't want to teach an 8-year-old getting smacked at their head.
So I was telling him literally my first game in high school for cricket. I was in my high school team, as I mentioned. So I was fielding. The bat literally hit the ball, came straight to my mouth, and then actually the ball went inside my mouth like I was eating an apple. Oh. So yeah, imagine if that was that.
If it was that, but yeah, that's the way.
I'd be dead.
I remember one at Renthorpe. I don't know if you were there then, but we was training, you know, in the far corner. Like as you come in, like as the far corner, we were training in that net, and I think the 15s are training sort of on the pitch, but not facing the road, facing the other way.
Yeah, towards
and he
houses.
cleared it, and I went to stroll with him. I can't actually remember his name. I went to stroll with him. He was literally running in to ball into our net, and this lad, I can't remember who it was. I used to know him from like the under 15s. Has cleared the boundary, and that's where we were. We weren't even bowling on the pitch. We were sort of on the boundary.
Yeah,
it's just in it, and it's cleaned him, and it's hit him up back at head with that. And obviously at the time you have to,
that was calm, I can't lie. I think that would mean PTSD.
Oh, that
there and done. I'm not playing anymore.
He didn't play again.
Not surprised after that. Not surprised.
But it's brutal as that. But, one of my other questions was going to be, if you're captain on a Saturday or Sunday, like you said, you're captain there, where are you putting yourself in the order, and are you opening the ball and are you opening the batting?
Well, usual captain's rules, wherever you like, but realistically for me, I think I'd spent a few years being an opening batter as I was sort of 15, 16, 17 in men's cricket, just because I had the technique but I didn't just quite have that power. So in junior games, I'd hit a shot, it'd go for 4, I'd hit the same shot in men's and it'd barely get off the square.
Yeah.
But now, a little bit bigger, a little bit more powerful, I'd say I'm probably best batting at 3, 4 or 5, so I'd probably say 4 in the middle.
Yeah.
And I think bowling-wise, I'd go first change, so let the openers bowl, try really hard, batters just block them around, and then my job usually is to come on and take the wickets that the openers don't, so that's one for my brother, because he bowls 14 overs in a row, gets 1 wicket maybe, goes for hardly any runs. Batters think, right, we're going to have to score now, and then I get loads of rubbish wickets. So
that's a slog, is that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. When was the change for you? Like when you went, like, you know what, I'm actually a good cricket player. What was the change, or when did you like that I was actually a good player?
Yeah, I think when I started playing under 9s at aged 5, so obviously playing against the kids a lot older, and then as I was going up and then I was becoming 8 or 9, I realised, right, I'm starting to become a lot. I've years of experience playing in it, and now I'm with kids my age, so I just started to fit. And then I got picked for the league team, and I think that was the moment where I thought, oh, I've gone from just playing and enjoying it and not really knowing about leagues and Yorkshire and things like that, to eventually thinking, oh, right, actually there might be a chance to do well in this game. So I think just as we were going,
there's an age gap between me and you, isn't there? But the fact that we played in the same age group obviously shows that AB was good enough. And I remember hearing the name, like when you came out, I was like, how do I remember this kid? And there was obviously a good player anyways, but there's a cricketer called AB de Villiers.
Yes.
And like, do you remember getting that tag?
That's the nickname. Yeah. I think I got it when I was like 6 as well. It was just right. I think we had 2 kids called Alex in our age group, and then one of the coaches were like, you can't both call you Alex, so like, right, call my brother BB, and he went AB, perfect, AB de Villiers, so it stuck from 6, and that's where the coaching name comes from now as well.
You've got that on there, you want to just talk us about how that started and what it is you do and everything like that?
Yeah, so I was at my last cricket club in the Pontefract League called Calder Grove, and they needed some junior support, so coaching and someone to run and help run one of the teams. So I thought, right, I'll give this a go, see what it's about. And then I went and did my ECB Level 2 course in the winter of 2021, I think. Yeah, going into 2022, or maybe start 2022. But anyway, I did that, and it was one of them where I thought, right, it's one of them, right, honestly, I thought, right, go get through it, get the qualification and done. After the first week, I came home and I was like, I really enjoyed that, learning how to coach and learning how to make young people better players. And then got qualified. I was only 17 when I did it, and you can't get the certificate till you're 18, so I had to wait. It came through in the post when I was 18, which definitely made me the youngest qualified coach in Yorkshire.
Oh wow!
So
Well done.
Thank you. And it were one of them where I thought, right, I'm going to help out with the junior teams, and I did that sort of start of that season. And then in July 2022 is where I thought, right, players are really enjoying it. Can I sort of do some maybe one-to-one sessions if they want extra support? And from there, I put a post out and thought, right, if I create my own brand and just sort of maybe get 1 or 2 sessions a week with 1 or 2 juniors from the club, that would be amazing. And then I put it out there and got quite a few inquiries, and I thought, right, this is I'll see how it goes. It's work alongside my university stuff as well, see how that goes. And then now it's sort of, I'm doing 3-4 hours, well, maybe even more on Saturday mornings sometimes. I'm doing twice a week. And from there, really, I did my own stuff. And then last summer, I went, my brother works at Yorkshire he's a strength and conditioning coach with the men's academy and girls academy.
Is that Yorkshire Diamonds?
Yeah, they're called Northern Diamonds now, so
yeah.
it mixes sort of all North East and then Yorkshire. And I got in touch with the guy there, and he's called James Martin. He's been an absolute legend for me. And he said, right, if you're interested in some coaching, you can do some work experience for uni and have a summer with us doing experience. So I worked with sort of mostly the under-18 girls that year, and it was a brilliant experience going sort of all around Yorkshire, learning sort of how to coach the higher quality players. Because the players I started working with were the club players and really enjoyed that. And I thought, right, if I can mix coaching club players with my own stuff and then Yorkshire players, obviously that higher standard. And with it being in girls cricket as well, it's been excellent sort of seeing the drive and push with that game. It's completely taken off the last few years. And that's led me to sort of now where I'm working at Yorkshire part-time as a coach, so they've taken me on as a part-time coach, and I'm obviously doing my own stuff as well. So it's all seeming to go in the right direction for me.
So you're pretty much leaning more towards being a coach than a player?
Yeah, so I think I'll always play every Saturday, sort of club cricket. I really enjoy that, but the coaching side is sort of more my passion now because I dedicate a lot more time to it than I do training, which I probably should train a little bit more. But like we say, the coaching stuff really sort of excites me and links well to my uni course as well.
So you mentioned uni course. What exactly do you study?
I'm at Leeds Beckett University, and I'm doing
exactly. Why that's unacceptable.
I don't know how they let me in today actually, but I'm at Leeds Beckett and my course is Science of Sport Performance, so learning all sort of basically nutrition, psychology, physiology, S&C of how sort of to get young players and professional athletes better in all them, and also learning sort of talent ID and talent development, which with my coaching that I'm doing links really, really well. So I'm trying to push down that route especially.
So with the coaching in the long run, is it, I can't really remember, I don't know how it'd work with a backroom staff in cricket to football. Do you want to be like the head coach, or do you want to be like one of the, like a batting coach or a bowling coach? Are you more, where do you fall in that?
To be fair, at the minute I wouldn't mind being any coach in a team, but I am quite ambitious, so I'd like to say I'd love to be a head coach of a professional team one day. So
the future of England.
Yeah, hopefully.
AB Ball.
AB Ball, that's it. I've had that mentioned before. But yeah, like I say, just being involved with Yorkshire and stuff at the minute is brilliant. Getting that experience at my age is really vital. Because I'm level 2 coach now, hopefully doing my level 3 next year. And I'm working with level 3, level 4 coaches. We've got the 2 high performance coaches I'm working closely with, who I'm working with tonight actually. Ben Silver and Jared Warner. Jared used to play for Yorkshire as well. Getting experience and just chatting to them about coaching, and they both work with England PD. Ben is the head coach of England International Physical Disability Team. So learning off them about how to coach, just having chats, watching them coach, helping them out, it's just really, really good experience, and hopefully, like I say, build up that experience, and eventually it could hopefully take me somewhere into a head coaching role at some point.
I'd like to see you in England one day.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
That'd be
It'd
lovely.
Be cool said. Obviously, we've known each other years and played cricket together. And
Yeah.
It'd be good for me. It'd be like, because obviously my uncle used to work for Sheikh Mansour, the owner of Man City.
yeah.
So that's like my claim to fame. I mean, my other
Yeah,
claim to fame is I know AB, who manages, who's the manager of England,
Yeah.
who just won them the World Cup, by the way.
That'd be lovely. World
Yeah.
Cup win. If we get to a World Cup final, you can have some tickets.
Thank you.
Please.
My team.
Please, I'll come. Don't worry.
With the uni degree, then how's that finding the balance of like? It sounds pretty busy there. I can't believe we've managed to get it finished,
Like me and him are so busy as well. Like so
Yeah.
it's hard
Yeah.
to balance. He got work experience, got experience, work, uni. It's hard to balance. So how do you balance?
It is. It's tough. I mean, a lot of times, a lot of days, it is uni or coaching, or uni then coaching. So it's really important. Like I said, I'm 100% committed to my studies, and with running my own business, that does give me that time. And I've had a couple of weeks where I've had to say, I'm not going to run any sessions this week because I need to finish this uni assignment. So having that balance is really important. And I'll admit sometimes it is quite difficult because there'll just be a week where I'll get home and I've got 15, 20 emails to get through, and then I'm thinking, oh, I've got a deadline for this next week, so I best get started on this tonight. But like I said, just sort of being clear and knowing, right, this is what I have to do this week to get this done, and actually finding the time to do it is really, really important. But I think I'm managing well, and sort of having to take a back step from coaching sometimes if I need to, just to help support that uni stuff as well.
Rob, I'm gonna ask you a question, Rob, if you don't mind.
Go on.
Obviously, you stopped playing cricket because you said you want to move to football.
Yeah.
How would you like to get back into cricket, or would you ever get back into cricket?
I was saying before we started that all this gear that's sort of one of the things that it does price a few people out.
Yeah.
So that the gear is expensive. I've got my running now, which you did the half marathon last
Yeah,
year,
I
didn't
did
you?
the
I don't know how
half.
you managed to find that.
Yeah,
I did the full.
I felt for you.
I thought you'd like to mention it quite a lot.
Oh, I would. I mean,
Yeah.
my brother did the full as well.
Yeah, he did.
like
Yeah,
I say.
he did it a lot quicker than me as well.
No, but like when he did it, I told him I was so proud of him. Like,
It's-
because I would never do it. He told me, he told me you can do it, but you want to. I said, I don't think I have the mentality
You'd
to
be
do
able to
it.
coach him.
Crazy. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that was just an unreal event. wasn't it?
Yeah.
And like you said,
You're doing it this year.
I'm thinking about the half. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So I
like,
can't tempt you.
I'm tempted.
Yeah.
Each year, as soon as I go for a run, I'm like, right, I'm going to
Yeah,
do
yeah.
the full. Week later, I think about it and go, oh, I haven't been
Nah.
on a run for a week.
Yeah.
So I will do a marathon at some point,
Yeah.
100%. But maybe not this year.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I've got that, which is my fitness. And then it's in the summer. Like summers are busier, really. And I don't fancy football, like coaching, like someone bellowing at you saying, "Oh, trot
Yeah.
back."
No.
It's in middle of winter,
Yeah.
and I don't really, no offense, I don't fancy going to nets
No.
in the
I'm with you.
middle of the week anymore. I've done my time doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, like when I play football, it's like having a kickabout with
Yeah,
my
it's just a
friends.
laugh, yeah.
Like, because for me, it's more focused about uni and like, because I prefer talking about it, football, and more the analytics part. You know, having a discussion about it than playing it myself.
Well, for example, with this, if we had a pitch behind us or a patch of grass, I'd happily go and set that up now and just have like a little
Yeah, yeah.
about.
Yeah.
But then in terms of like I said, getting all the pads and everything like that, and getting back into it in that sense, it'd take a lot of motivation to start it. I love it. I love playing it. And I think as well for my family, like from playing like football as well,
Yeah.
it's much more. It's more of a like welcoming sport in the fact that like there's no aggression on this. I know you have pushy parents and
Yeah.
stuff still. You always do.
Yeah. And it's all-
But like Friday nights at Renthorpe, like they can have a drink and they can watch you, and you're playing cricket in the sun with your mates. It is like I'm just smiling about it now, thinking about
culture,
it.
and it's a really
yeah.
good culture.
It's reminiscing
Yeah.
right now, aren't you?
Yeah, no, I am too fair. It's good. But no, I won't be knocking on Brendan McCullum's door anytime soon for a call up.
You'll be knocking
or
on AB's.
yeah.
I'll give you a
Yeah.
game, no worries.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'll just point out on the cricket gear, that is a really good point
Yeah.
because, like we say, sometimes getting into football, right, you can get a pair of boots for 20 quid,
Yeah.
shin pads, 5-10 quid, that's it, you're ready. But a good thing that's happening at the minute is you see the back there, Kippax Cricket, and
Yeah.
what they've done is they've sponsored me a lot. It's on the
I was
shirt
going to
as
mention
well.
that, yeah.
And they've been really, really good. So like when I was playing, and then also when I was sort of getting into the coaching, they were really, really supportive and said, right, it's a really good thing you're doing. You can they give me a couple of bats like that, training bats, and then this gear is quite new actually, which I've done. And what they do is, for any players who are working with me, what they say is, right, if they need some gear, you can come down to Kippax Cricket and they'll sort of take you through the whole process like they do with the pros. Like they've got some professional players like Keaton Jennings, who plays for Lancashire and has played for England. So what they'll do is they'll bring him in, let him test some bats out, feel some bats, try the gear on. And exactly the same, I had an 8-year-old or 9, and he just for his 10th birthday the other day. And on his birthday, they arranged for him to come in, have the full gear testing like they would England players, and then sort of, right, you've got the best kit around, and I know the sponsor me, but it is genuinely the best kit around. And the way they look after the players like that really sort of, for parents, goes, right, yeah, if I am going to spend the money and get the kit, it's going to be that, rather than just looking and going, whoa, that's a lot of money for some kit. So they get the whole process.
So that's class as that, because I saw it on your thing. I thought I'd mention it, but and I don't want to advertise another thing here. But when I was playing, I had something similar. Everyone would always say, "Oh, I'm getting this for my 10th birthday, 11th birthday, this, that." The parents would spend stupid amounts on it, but like you say, it's so expensive. I remember going to, you probably heard of, Solly Sports?
Yeah.
In Dewsbury.
Yes.
It's a cricket shop up above a petrol station. So you go as if you're going into the petrol station, into like the kiosk.
Yeah.
You go up the stairs, and I had a similar experience where I had I think maybe 200 quid to spend from people. Everyone dropped me money for my birthday, and it was, right, you need new spikes, you need new whites, you need a new bat, you need some new balls, everything. And he took me around the shop, and then he did deals and stuff like that. And I had a birthday party at Yorkshire Cricket Club when I was 10. And instead of, how people always give cake and stuff like that, Solly, it was called Solly. I don't know if he's still alive.
I think it's still around as well.
But he gave everyone a Solly Sports win ball. So everyone always remembers that as oh, I got a win ball from that, and I found it in Garden last year at the Solly Sports win ball. So to hear that Kippax do that as well, and I have heard of Kippax before. But that's class as that, because that goes a long way to helping families out and so. And I think it'd get more people into it. If they
I was gonna say obviously cost is a massive factor in every sport you play, because some family cannot afford, even if your child is good in this game, but you can't afford. So that would actually help people to, if cricket or football or any other sport, and you have a child who's good at a different sport, that could make that child go to that certain sport, because it's cheaper for them and it's more accessible for them.
People can check out your coaching or get in contact and stuff.
I've got Facebook and Instagram are both AB Cricket Coaching. I've just launched my own website a few months back now, which I'm regularly updating on. That's abcricketcoaching.com. And email is abcricketcoach@gmail.com. So I do one-to-one sessions, group sessions, teams, summer camps, everything like that. So anyway, whatever level you're at cricket, I've coached a 6-year-old this year, and I'm currently working with a 33-year-old who's just starting the game for the first time. So anywhere in between there, or whatever level experience is, it's a good challenge for me. I really enjoy it. So.
Did you do it in Wakefield?
Yeah, I'm based in I do all my indoor sessions at Stumps in Wakefield at the minute currently, and then obviously when we go outdoors, it depends what club they're playing for, and I can pop down there and stuff.
If a player does not you want to start at best level, has no club, he can still get in touch with you.
100%, yeah. Never picked a bat, bowled a ball. It's really, I really enjoy it. 'Cause it's sort of that first session of seeing the kids just develop that first love like I did, like we said, when I was 5. It's really rewarding for me and for the kids as well.
Very good, very good. I hope everyone's enjoyed it. I hope you've been educated.
Honestly, I actually love this. I love this, honestly.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure. Really enjoyed it.
We'll get you on a master's course at least, Trinity now.
Yeah, we need to improve.
Yeah.
We need to improve your university.
Big transfer. Big transfer.